Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you, Jonathan, for your evidence. I'm very struck by what you've said about the parallels with Germany. In 2015, the British House of Commons voted to say that there is a genocide underway in Iraq against the Yazidis. The government said we can't accept the view of the House of Commons, only a court can say these things, and of course the attempts to open a route to the High Court of England and Wales, despite three-figure majorities wanting to do that in amendments in the House of Lords, has never been enacted, and so there is no route to anything comparable to the German court. Is that something that we should be giving attention to? But in answer to Baroness Lawrence, you also raised the issue of evidence collection. In 2019, I went to northern Iraq, I went to Dohuk, I went to the Nineveh Plains and various parts of the Kurdish area. I met the Baba Sheikh, the spiritual leader of the Yazidis, and I took evidence from people who had escaped from Mosul, who gave me graphic accounts of the things that had happened to them. And I brought that back and I gave it to our Foreign Office. But I asked the question, has anyone from the international authorities, or indeed from the Iraqi authorities, been and collected your evidence? No one had interviewed any of those people, half a dozen people that I met during that visit. If we're not collecting the evidence, how are we ever going to get any kind of convictions?
Yes, and I suppose you might also say that you need to take a policy decision, which is if you're going to sincerely collect evidence from eyewitnesses and use that, you must be prepared to admit those people to the UK to give evidence. And I don't know whether or not that could be a factor as well. But I mean, ultimately, if you're defending a case, you're going to object to a witness giving evidence remotely in a case like that. And they'd need to be present. So I suspect it's more than just gathering the evidence. It's also being willing to accept people coming into the UK with all the, I suppose, immigration possibilities that they may never leave the UK.
That's something we should attend to. And what about the German model?
I don't know the answer to your question. This sort of reverse Rwanda point, which is sort of where I don't know whether or not a declaration by Parliament would make it any easier. I mean, I thought it was a matter of fact that there was genocide. I'm surprised.
It's only now, since this committee started this inquiry, and as a result of the case that Amal Clooney and others pursued in Germany, that the government have now accepted that it was a genocide.
Right.
So a German court can come to that conclusion. The government can accept it then as a genocide, but have no avenue open for a similar, comparable decision to be made by a British court. Isn't that odd?
I mean, I haven't sort of tracked through this point, so...
Thank you.